Hello everyone, welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is time now, folks. I've been talking about get prepared: food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, having a plan. I've been saying prep to action, and now it's time to start taking action across the board in defense of yourself, if nothing else, your community, if you can think that broadly, and for freedom in general, because that's what this is about, right? I have heard for far too long, you Americans, coming from people overseas, and then from within this country, from political leftist scumbags. Oh, you guys on the right are a bunch of pussies. You won't do anything. Folks, people are standing up now. It is time for everyone to join this and get out there and become an advocate for freedom, folks. Get used to taking action, because at some point, and maybe some point sooner than any of us realize, something is going to happen. You're going to make the call. Say, hello, police, hello, sheriff, we've got a problem. And they're going to say, you're on your own. Get used to taking action on your own behalf. Don't leave it to someone else. And I want to give you some great examples, some marvelous examples, something that we're all having to deal with. And I want to start with kids, young people, folks in Colorado, high school students at Thunder Ridge High School in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, decided they were going to walk out of class in protest of what? Wearing face diapers. These kids, right, are healthy and strong. Because why? Because they're young. But they go out and they protest, and they're not wearing masks on the school grounds. I think this is absolutely fantastic. I remember when I was a kid, I remember hearing the teachers go, yeah, we protested in the 60s and 70s, man. We're like, well, we're protesting you now. And my friends, folks, people I knew would get up and argue about stupid leftist social programs in the 1980s. Well, here we are, folks, 30 plus years later. What are students doing? They're pushing communism and socialism and woke and justice and special privilege and CRT. They're pushing all that shit. Well, not all the students like that, folks. And it's about time they started standing up for themselves. And who gives a shit? Folks, if they're going to cancel you, they're going to destroy your whole life. So you may as well fight back. Not violently, not by breaking laws, but by working within the system. That's what I can promote here on the Prepared Mind, folks, right? That's as far as I'm allowed to go. I've run to the end of my leash, folks. Collars got me. Run to the end of my leash, you know. Just yanked me back, but I can stay at the end of my leash and bark all day. It is time to take action. Get used to taking action for SHTF. And this is one of the ways you can do it that is making a difference. God bless these kids for finally being rebels, right? I've had too much of this conformity crap coming out of kids. Bending over and being coward-like, not standing up to the woke crowd or the feminist crowd or the coalition crowd, whatever the hell they're called these days. You believe what you believe, stand up for it. You know, the kids need to do that. As much as we were wrong as kids, the fact that we were able to stand up and start making an argument on our own behalf was empowering. That's what it used to be like to be youth, was to stand up and question authority. You're about ready to leave your parents' house. Question everything they say. Question the teachers. Question everybody and everything. And then enter life as a questioning, thinking adult. Is this the best way to do it? Is this going to work? What evidence do we have? Kids are waking up. You, I, me, us. We all need to participate and encourage people acting, taking action on their own behalf. I've heard this too many times. Well, where's everyone at? No one will do anything. People are doing stuff. So I'm going to ask you, are you joining? Are you encouraging? Are you spreading information? Are you sharing what we're talking about here? You should be sharing this information so other people are like, yeah, I've had it with this shit. I'm going to stand up and speak my mind before I'm not allowed to speak anymore. And they are pushing that, folks. They're pushing it through their social justice bullshit networks. They're pushing it everywhere. at your work, in your family. How dare you say something against my beliefs? You've offended me. Yeah? Well, your mere presence offends me. Your lack of intelligence offends me. The fact that you don't have a legitimate argument or case to make is beyond offensive. It is ignorance on parade, and I see it. It is time to take action, folks. It is not going to get better by allowing these idiots to push things even further. And they're not going away. I've talked with Chris P. Bacon many times over this very topic. Right? They're not going to go away. Cerveza bug is not going to go away. They're going to continue to push it. But down in Florida, and I've got to tell you, Seminole County, Florida, Texas, Missouri, there's some great states out there with a lot of people who are no longer, folks, just taking shit. They're standing up. They're trying to, now Florida's an interesting case because the governor has signed legislation, has signed executive orders saying schools cannot force people. They cannot force people to wear masks. Now, that's the rule didn't say if you want to wear one, you can. It just says you can't force people to. But school districts tried doing it anyway, violating state law, state rules, state emergency decrees, only because they're not in favor of it. See, they'll fight us, and they'll break the rules against us, people who like freedom. And they've got no problem with it. They think it's fucking virtuous. But when we stand up and fight back, they think that we're a bunch of right-wing, lunatic, white supremacist, extremist, violent, bad people. You can't have it both ways, you bunch of cocksuckers. Right? If you can stand up, we can. If you can violate the rules, we can. And we will, and we should. Not break any laws or do anything really bad or harmful or dangerous. Right? We shouldn't do that. But we should do everything that the other side does. So in order for them to say you can't, they have to admit that they have violated the law. Anyways, folks, Seminole County, which is in somewhere in the middle of Florida, they had a school board meeting that ended up being nearly 8 hours. Hundreds of angry parents showed up to voice their opinions to the school board that was trying to adopt a district-wide face burqa, face diaper. Now, originally, the Seminole County Board said, hey, look, you can opt out if you would like out of the mask. Well, no shit, that's what the state rule is. But then a bunch of left-wing, super Marxist, socialist, fascist, mask-obsessed, diaper-on-the-face teachers union people pressured them into holding another vote. Now, Governor DeSantis did sign an executive order banning these mask mandates by school boards. He threatened and will withhold salaries of school board members, but Joe Biden says, "Oh, don't worry, we'll pay you instead." Really, he has that kind of discretion. I tell you what, Mr. Gigi Biden, why don't you send $10 million my way? And why don't you just send $10 million everyone's way? Well, no, it's only for political purposes, folks. That's what this is all about. It's politicized. This isn't about science. This is about political control, political control, political control. So parents, community leaders, they attended this almost 8-hour meeting, and they were overwhelmingly opposed. Now, who runs the schools? The teachers' unions? Or is it done on behalf of students and their parents' opinions? Right. Now, I've been watching these lately. I've been watching parents stand up, whether it's Florida or in California, in Natomas, up in Sacramento, or down in Los Angeles, where they caught the pride teacher, making kids swear allegiance to that flag. Or up in Natomas again, where that teacher had, the Chairman Mao, Communist of China, on the wall, and an Antifa flag, right? Whose will wins? Who gets to win? Parents are now opposing this critical race theory shit, all the way to its source in Virginia as well, where it first came out. This is just, it's getting out of hand, folks. They are out of hand. And what we are doing as a free American society is reining them back in. You folks have a chance. This is your chance, without violence, without threats, without guns, without anything. You can use your mind and your free speech to make a difference. You don't even have to have kids in school. You can show up at a school board meeting in your area when it's announced and say, I'm a member of the public, I'm a taxpayer, and here's my opinion. You can use history, you can use facts. Hey, it's not YouTube at a school board meeting. You can actually talk about scientific facts that are available, and we post on Patreon. By the way, if you're on YouTube, going to patreon.com, you get a whole lot more links to things scientific, medical, legal, military, whatever crosses the line that I can't talk about here on YouTube, it's over there. And by golly, it's worth it. Oh, aren't those fun? Okay. I want to get back to this idea. How comfortable will you be taking action if Mad Max hits your city if you haven't practiced? Everything is about practice. I say, well, you need food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. You need a plan. But if you don't practice eating the Armageddon chow, you won't know how to cook it when it hits the fan. If you're not used to using life straw and other water purification techniques, which I actually recommend using if you get a Berkey filter, I recommend using it every day because you don't know what's in your water supply. Is it chemicals? Is it pharmaceutical drug residue that it's seeped its way into city water systems? Think about it. Are you being medicated without your knowledge? Filtering your water, right? Practicing all these things, self-defense, going to the range, going out and looking at your street and actually understanding if someone was coming here and you go stand on the other side and look at your house and go, if I wanted into my house, how would I go about doing it? And coming up with a defense plan. If you're not used to doing these things, folks, you're not going to be good at them when the time comes. Practice. Same with, folks, this problem right now. And it's not just schools. How about anything that's going on? But I did bring up these school references because kids are standing up. Good. Parents are standing up everywhere. Good. It's about freaking time people got used to taking action instead of relying on these elected officials like, well, I voted and I did my job. Well, apparently it's not working because they say one thing to get elected and then they start screwing you over. Right? You put your head through a hole in the fence at the voting booth and go, okay, I see what's going on. They sneak around back and they're nailing you in the keister. You know, it's done. Time to be done with that. How much more confident will you be if SHTF hits your street if you're used to taking action on your own behalf? It's hard, folks, and I get it. Speaking your mind publicly is hard. When I was a student, I used to get physically nauseous, thinking 20 people are going to listen to me talk. If I make a mistake, it's going to be so embarrassing. That girl I really like, she's going to think I'm weak or dumb. This is terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. And then you know, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You do poorly. One point I said, you know, I need to conquer this fear of standing up and speaking my mind, my thoughts, my beliefs. Why should I care if some other asshole doesn't like me? He didn't like me before I spoke. How should I expect him to like me after? People that are going to agree with you, they're going to applaud the better and more you say. And there are some people in the middle who are afraid. Oh, do I go with the leftists who want us to put a diaper on our face so I can virtue signal and sound really cool and smart? Or should I stand up and act ye like a man and speak the truth, speak the facts, say what needs to be said for freedom, and get used to taking action on your own behalf? And folks, when the nasties get here, you're going to be in a better position up here because chance favors the prepared mind. Is yours. Godspeed. Semper Fi, folks. Semper Fi. It means always faithful. And we'll see you back here again real soon. And we've got a lot more to talk about. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and share. Share this video. Get more people acting on their own behalf and get them prepping.
How many hearts have you broken with those great big beautiful eyes? Those great big beautiful eyes that tell such beautiful lies.
How many times have you kissed somebody like you kissed me then? I don't.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all ships at sea. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you an important message from the Prepared Mind Network.
Intruder alert.